Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast. Starring me, Tambapom, aka Tanner Greenring. And
Was there an Ambipom too? Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Did I repress it?
I think Route 12 or 13, there was a lady called Business Lady Hillary, and she had both of the two Pokemon
Teacher
that
Hillary.
I
I
am.
remember that actually, yeah.
She has both of the Pokemon that are our nicknames this week. And I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Sunflorash.
Sunflora. Wow.
AKA
What a
Joshua Fjellstead. What a mess of a team.
What a dynamic duo there.
Gross. Hillary. Get your shit pulled together, man. It was gross.
Somebody else here has an Apom as well. Did you notice it stands on its fucking tail hand?
No. Ugh. No.
It's awful.
I don't get why we have this Pokemon.
I don't know.
And I don't get why people defend him. Every time we shit on Ambipom, people crawl out of their nasty, rotten woodwork to be like, Ambipom is good. Look at his gross hands.
Multiple guests who we've had on this show.
I know. They're all disgusting.
Canceled.
Let's never have them on again.
Alex and Tony are canceled.
Alex and Tony canceled.
Although I think Tony wanted to chop it up and eat it. So,
Think it's a gay thing?
it could be. But I don't like it.
Yeah. You have good taste, though.
Oh, thank you.
Teacher Hillary had Sunkern and Ambipom.
Yeah.
Oh, I rematched her. When you go to fight her again, she has Ambipom and Sunflora.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She called you up,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
called her up.
I called her up, yeah.
I haven't done too much of the rematches yet. I just keep running the Elite Four. I feel like it's still more efficient, but am I wrong?
I do a little bit of both, especially on this route, or these routes, the 14, 15, 13, 12. The density of trainers is so tight that I was doing rematches all up and down these routes.
Yeah.
And the levels aren't awful. Especially when you go back for the rematches, their levels are in the mid to high 40s.
There was a lot of training here, actually, more than I thought.
Yeah.
Finally.
But yeah, we'll get to that. We're not there yet, Josh.
Yeah. Sorry. I derailed that intro. It's a Pokemon podcast?
It's a Pokemon podcast wherein we play through every Pokemon game, gym by gym, week by week. We are in Season 4B, playing through the end game of Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold.
Yeah, I
Joshua.
always say them in the wrong order, but...
I play Soul Silver.
Yeah, but it's Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It sounds so much better.
No, it doesn't. It sounds bad when you say it like that. We find ourselves in Celadon City.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the sights, we've done some shopping, we've defeated Erica in battle, and now we are headed west towards the cycling road, a route that I took on last week, not knowing where I was going or what I was doing. The order of the Kanto in this post-game after Soul Silver and Heart Gold is so confusing. They do not give you any hints.
No.
They just kind of leave it up to you to grope your way through the dark.
And they also gate certain areas, arbitrarily,
Yes.
with the Snorlax, where it's but why can't I just do Diglett's Cave, but I can, go all the way to Cerulean or Lavender Town as soon as you land.
Yeah.
As you dock.
You can get around the Snorlax from every direction.
Yeah.
Technically.
It all seems arbitrary because, there's this order that the walkthrough has prescribed, basically, which is how we got caught, in the beginning, where it was oh, okay, it's not Brock and Misty immediately, it's Lieutenant Surge and Sabrina, but, none of them have higher level Pokemon, really, than the others. They're all, level 49 to, 55.
Right, they're all sort of right in the same zone.
So, why don't you just give us free reign of the whole region?
And in fact, we played 2 gyms this week, and one was incredibly challenging in terms of puzzles and gym layout.
Oh, yeah.
And the other was shockingly easy in terms of layout.
Because they are just renovating the gyms in the original, and Pewter Gym is obviously
Pewter
for
Gym
babies.
is 2 trainers. Each of them has 1 Pokemon.
Right.
And then Brock, of course. But Brock's got some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet, Joshua. We are headed west from Celadon City towards Cycling Road, Route 16 and 17, I think.
I think it's 17 and 18 specifically. 16, you used to be able to get fly there by finding that hermit in the woods, and now it's just
right.
This man and this woman and this old man.
The vacation house?
Yeah, the vacation house.
I want to talk about the vacation house because the old man who lives in the vacation house is my trainer danger of the week.
Oh, wow.
Well, my first one. He's a weirdo and he's a creep, and he no longer gives you any HMs. He just asks you if you've heard of this cool new trendy phrase.
Yeah.
This is a mechanic that they introduced in
Hoenn.
Yeah. It didn't make sense then, but at least back then you could sort of set the phrase.
And you could have a little fun with it.
Now there's no option for setting the phrase. Some specter out there is setting the phrase for you.
Yeah, and it changes every day, apparently.
What's the point?
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care at this point.
What was your trendy phrase?
Well, this is the first one I got in any of these games where I was like, oh, that actually is trendy. And it was streaming.
Oh, yeah, streaming is very trendy.
I was like, wow, streaming was
Did
not...
you ask him if he's watched Loki? Does he have Disney Plus?
He's more of a Peacock guy.
Oh, yeah, I have Peacock, too.
You know, he's got to watch Friends.
Had to watch The Office, you know?
You know what I found out this week? Seinfeld is expiring on Hulu.
Okay, but...
And Netflix got the rights next, but they don't have it until September. And so it's like, what am I going to do for 2 months?
Wait, how often do you rewatch Seinfeld?
Oh, I'd say an episode usually finds its way on almost every day.
Here's the thing about...
You just throw it on.
Here's the thing about TV from when you and I were coming up. It's better than you remember, A.
Yeah.
B, I remember when I moved to New York in 2008, I was watching The Office because we were all watching The Office, you know?
Yeah, of course. I watched that.
But I don't think I don't think I've ever considered myself a fan. But recently I signed up for Peacock and I rewatched all of The Office.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's a very funny show.
I liked it a lot.
You forget.
But I feel like it's sort of the same thing that's happened to me with Friends, except I never watched Friends. But with The Office...
I've never seen Friends either.
But now I hate the culture around it, so I won't watch it out of spite.
That's what I assumed too. I was like, oh, everyone's so obnoxious about The Office. And it's like such a thing online. Like, I don't really want to revisit The Office. But then I was like, I need something to watch while I'm playing video games.
Right.
So I put on The Office, and it's still very good. It's a very, like, nice... funny show.
I did love it when it was on, but I've never rewatched it because of the culture.
And
now I'm thinking, I don't. I mean, now I've got
Sign
this
up for
dearth.
Peacock, baby.
It's like I can't rewatch Frasier already.
Yeah.
Maybe it will have to be The Office. I did 30 Rock last year.
It's better than you remember.
Did Battlestar Galactica already during the pandemic, so.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe it's The Office by process of elimination. I mean, what am I going to do? Rewatch Scrubs? I'm not doing that.
Oh, interesting. I definitely had like a Scrubs moment in college.
I loved Scrubs, and I rewatched the first 4 seasons like frequently because I had them on DVD. But
oh right, yeah.
That show really goes down the tubes after I think like season 5 or 6.
Weren't they on one network and they came back on another network?
I think it was like an NBC ABC thing.
It was definitely like well after I stopped watching it. I remember it like came back and like it was sort of like Saved by the Bell, the new class, where it was like. JD and Turk were the seasoned teachers now.
Oh, yeah. And they have like a class of residents.
Yeah.
I went down with the ship on that show, but I really stopped paying attention at that point.
Yeah. That show is good.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, people, these sitcoms that everyone loves, there's a reason why everyone loves them. And it's because they're good.
Yeah. Well, that's the lesson.
That's the lesson.
And streaming is trending.
And so is bone density, which is what he said to me.
Okay. He's got like osteoporosis on the mind.
I don't know what's going on with him, but he said, hey, want to hear a trendy phrase? And I said, yeah. He said bone density.
That's fucked up.
He just left it at that.
Bone density.
What a weird thing to say to me.
He thinks your bones are dense or they are lacking density.
He wasn't clear about it. Not even sure we're talking about my bones. Might have been his bone.
Wow.
You know?
Give him some calcium.
Yeah. And it's not bones density. He's talking about a bone.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, no. Which bone?
Which bone, creep?
I see where you're going now.
There's also a little bit of patch of grass here. I only caught one notable Pokemon this week. Everything else, it was stuff I already had, so I skipped almost all the routes this week. But
me too.
Did you catch anything here?
I skipped most of them. I did step into this grass because I couldn't really remember what was here originally.
Yeah.
And I caught something, but only because I just hucked a ball at it. I was like, it's level 15. I'm not going to kill it because it's a waste.
Right.
Well, I'll just huck a ball. I don't have it. And it was a Grimer.
Oh, cute.
And I did catch it.
What are you going to do with the Grimer?
Oh, it's in the box, but I'm concerned about what it's going to do in that box because I read its Pokedex entry.
What does it do?
And it says, as it moves, it loses bits of its body from which new Grimer emerge. And this worsens the stench around it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a gremlin.
It's sort of like a gremlin, yeah.
A stinky gremlin.
Yeah.
It does make you think if you had a Grimer as your overworld Pokemon walking behind you, isn't it just spreading Grimers all over the land?
Oh, you're leaving little trails of Grimers the entire way behind you. Yeah.
And is that legal?
And does that mean your Grimer gets smaller and smaller?
I think that's what it would imply, unless it's generating more ooze constantly.
Right.
It does learn acid armor eventually, and it can throw sludge. Maybe.
It's throwing little bits of Grimer that it's going to become new Grimers.
And then do they become Grimers on the other Pokemon?
Vacation house, done.
Yeah.
Bicycle route. Here we are, Route 17.
Uh-huh.
You fly down this thing.
Yeah.
It's the same bikers it's always been.
Looks great.
Although, I don't know what are the cue balls around this time?
They're all bikers now, I think.
No, there's bird boys too.
There's bird boys, and then I think this is the gen where they removed cue balls because I think they realized that they were racist.
Creeps.
Skinheads.
So
they're all just bikers.
They're all bikers. And the sprite is cool because they have their hog behind them, their rig.
Yeah.
And they all have this big seat post.
That is cool.
That's the same shape as a Heracross horn.
That is cool. I hadn't even realized
The
that.
same shape and color as a Heracross horn, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they all have the same toxic Pokemon. Well, and Magmars.
And Sevipers.
But mostly it's poison type Pokemon.
I found out that one of them, Biker Aiden, he'll call you if you take his number, and he'll have a Dusk Stone at some point, which can be useful.
I could have used one last week.
Yeah.
On Murkrow.
I guess he can give you one.
I feel like all of these routes, 17, 18, 16, and then the other ones 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
An inordinate amount of people who were insisting on taking their number.
Too many. They went too far.
Like the bikers, I feel like a third of them encouraged me to take their number. And I was like, I guess, but I'm not going to pick up.
The only one that I thought was funny was that one of them at the end is like, yeah, just give me a call if you want to talk, about school or puzzles or gym tricks or really nothing at all, because that's what friends do. And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I'm calling to talk about puzzles.
Kind of sweet, this grizzled biker.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a funny dialogue tree for them, but
that's pretty good.
But yeah, I'm not answering any of these calls.
You make your way down the route here, and then you're on Route 18, which is that tiny little patch of land between...
Oh, with the bird boys?
Cycling route, yeah, and Fuchsia City. And there's a couple of bird boys in a patch of grass here who will take you on. I don't know. They got birds. Doduos and Dodrios.
Yeah.
But here we are in Fuchsia City, the once beautiful Fuchsia City.
Yeah.
That's gone to seed, although, Joshua...
Yeah.
I think... son or grandson of the former Safari Zone owner has taken it upon himself to rebuild on the former grounds of the Safari Zone since it's been closed.
Pal Park.
Pal Park. It's a lot like Safari Zone, except it's nothing like Safari Zone.
Yeah.
The way the Pal Park works, bug catchers, is you show up, you release 6 of your Pokemon from the Game Boy Advance cart into the Pal Park, and then you can go in and catch them and incorporate them into your current playthrough.
Yeah.
It's like the only way to transfer Pokemon from old games.
Yeah, until you've got Pokemon Home and everything, and then they all work together now.
I was playing on my 3DS, so I didn't have the game cart. But are you still playing on the DSi?
DS Lite, but yeah. I didn't do it because I can't use any imported Pokemon because of the Nuzlocke, but I got some gears turning for future games where I think... can we keep a Champions Clause going?
Yeah.
I think it would be fun to do throwbacks at some point, and we bring in super old callback Pokemon into Gen 5 or Gen 6 or whatever, because we'll have that ability at this point.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Which could be funny.
That would be good. The only other thing that's really notable, except for the gym in Fuchsia City, is the juggler.
Yeah.
Who is this man who you can trade shards to for berries.
Yeah, which I didn't do.
Why would you do that? That's such a bad exchange.
The shards are worth so much more than berries.
Shards are good. The berries suck. Although I think he has some pretty uncommon berries.
Yeah, I'm just not...
Berries I've never even really heard of before.
Now that we have good, solid held items, I'm not bothering with a berry.
No.
Really, the only one I get is like the strategy Tony tried to deploy last week, where Tony had his Dragonite holding a Persim berry so that after 2 or 3 turns of outrage and it gets confused, it gets cured immediately.
Oh,
like
smart.
I could do that with my Meganium and Petal Dance as well, but
yeah,
that's really it. I'm not going to use the other ones. I mean, unless I'm naive about this berry culture.
My mom has sent me lots of berries, and like some of them are impressive. Like there are some that allow moves that would be super effective to be just regular effective.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I suppose.
So there's some useful berries, but mostly the berry game is beyond me and frankly uninteresting to me.
No, I'm not getting in that game.
And I'm going to keep my shards, thank you.
Yeah.
Only other real notable landmark in Fuchsia City is the Fuchsia Gym.
Yeah, that's it.
With gym leader Janine.
Koga's daughter.
Koga's daughter, right. Koga from...
the Elite Four.
Yes.
He got promoted even though he's always been one of the worst gym leaders, and he is now one of the worst Elite Four.
Yes.
Because Poison's trash.
Poison is trash, although her gym is...
Yeah.
What a pickle.
Yeah, they finally got the technology upgraded so that you can't tell where the walls are, and they're actually invisible.
You can kind of tell if you're looking very closely.
Can you?
If you're looking super closely, there's a little bit of a distortion on the tiles.
Jesus.
Like a 1 pixel distortion on the tiles that will tell you where the walls are. But it's really, really hard to see, and you're much better off doing what I did, which was just brute forcing your way through.
Yeah, me too. I just flung myself at every direction.
Yeah, I was just throwing myself at glass walls. Ended up not even battling 2 of the trainers because, like, the thing about this gym is everyone looks like Janine.
Right.
Everyone has like put on a disguise to look like Janine. So every time you approach someone, you're like, is this Janine? And they're like, fwa, 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 fwa.
Right.
I am not Janine. I am just some dumb trainer. And they always have the same like poison type Pokemon. It's like Muck and
Arbok
and Arbok and all that kind of shit. So
yeah.
Last Linda.
She's
has
got a stack
the
team.
full Bulbasaur line.
Yeah. She knows what she likes,
Yeah.
and she's not afraid to let you know.
But then eventually you find your way to gym leader Janine, and I managed to just kind of fling myself at the walls in such a way that the last 2 gym trainers, I didn't even encounter them. So
Okay.
I just like eventually found my way to Janine, and it was the real Janine.
She's not the one in the middle. She throws you off,
Yeah.
and she's like the second or third to the last one or something.
Right, exactly. And then she's got all poison type Pokemon. She's got Crobat, Weezing, 2 area doses.
Yeah, it's not a great
And
strategic
then
decision.
a Venomoth. Her highest level Pokemon is 50. It's the Venomoth. I had Honchkrow,
Eat up those bugs.
flying type Pokemon, who made very quick work of the bugs.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's super effective against poison.
Psychic, ground.
Oh,
I think that's it.
well, it didn't matter. Honchkrow one-hitted everyone in this place.
Yeah.
Maybe not a one-hitted, but like did a lot of damage to everyone in this place.
That's a thing, like, I think poison is ultimately more useful than a type like rock, but they have a similar nature where it's basically like, you know, they have a very low special defense.
Oh, and
I just threw alternating Kaladin, the Magmortar, and Tolkien, the Alakazam out here, and every one of them was a one-hit KO.
yeah, I didn't know that about their special defense, and Honchkrow has this move called Nasty Plot.
Oh, yeah.
Which like
Nasty Plot's great.
greatly increases his special attack.
Yeah.
And then paired with Dark Pulse, like I was just one-hitting everyone in here.
She's as much of a joke as her father. Runs in the family.
Yeah, it was no problem at all.
Yep.
You get the Soul Badge. She gives you Poison Jab. I don't know if Poison
pretty
Jab
decent.
is a good move or not.
It's like 80 damage, 100% accuracy. Poison.
Yeah.
Physical move, I think.
And then
It's a jab. It's got to be physical.
if you've played through Pokemon Red, Blue, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Gold, Silver, any of the games where you've made your way through the Kanto region, surely your next instinct is to go south towards the Seafoam Islands, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Blocked.
It's like a rock slide or something.
Yeah, there's
Clearing debris.
something here that's keeping you from going south.
Yeah.
So an artificial barrier here. So you're not going south. You were going east towards the docks that lead eventually to
Lavender Town?
Lavender Town and Vermilion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first kind of route that you encounter to the east of Fuchsia City is that long one where it's like 2 routes. There's a route above with little cliffs that you can jump down.
Right.
And there's a route below that's full of trainers and patches of grass.
Yeah.
I waded into the patches of grass here just because I was curious, but didn't see anything all that interesting.
I did a little because I know there can be chances here.
But the rate is like so low.
Yeah, it's
right?
1%, and everything else was something that I either already had or I just don't care anymore.
But you're saying these Pokemon are from the Safari Zone?
Someone says that where they're like, oh, all this route, I think 14 and 15, all have released Safari Zone Pokemon on them.
I mean, it was mostly Nidos.
Well, they're in there as well.
There's also Pidgeotos,
like,
there's Noctowls, there's Hoppeeps.
Chansey is one of the ones that was in the Safari Zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little disappointed. Like, I didn't see a lot of what you would think they would have. Like, how are there not Rhyhorns? That's a very common Pokemon in Safari Zone. So you'd think you'd see that at least.
Right.
Didn't really live up to my expectations with this free roaming Safari Zone mon.
Yeah, it also like just speaks really poorly of the guy who ran the Safari Zone because he was just like, well, I'm closing the Safari Zone. I guess I'll just open the gates.
I'm going to just ruin this ecosystem by releasing a bunch of invasive species into it.
And let the fucking wild Pokemon and just run free. Yeah.
I think he's in prison now.
I hope so.
Yeah, lock him up.
The nice part about these routes is there are a ton of trainers.
Yeah.
And you can just keep grinding away here. And some of them have pretty decent level Pokemon, especially when you come back to battle them later.
Right.
There's one guy I want to talk about, Josh,
okay,
who's my second trainer danger of the week.
Jesus.
His name is Pokéfan Joshua.
Oh, okay.
And that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
And guess what he's got, Joshua?
But you're making me the trainer danger?
Well, I'm making Pokéfan Joshua the trainer danger. And if you take that mantle on, then yes, but otherwise, no. I will say the sprite is a man with his what appears to be young son.
Right.
Dressed up as Pikachu.
I think you previously sort of had an affinity toward the Pokéfan.
I do. But I don't anymore, and I want to tell you why, Joshua.
Okay.
After this break.
Oh, that's inventive. Inventive approach there.
New one.
Using it against yourself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
My trainer danger, my second one of the week, Pokéfan Joshua, has not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 Pikachus.
It's 5 too many.
It's so rare to encounter a random trainer who has more than a few Pokemon. And this dude had a full lineup, all 6 Pokemon, all Pikachus.
Yeah, the equivalent, although at least it's a little bit better, it's a little bit of an improvement over that fisherman who has the 6 Magikarp.
Oh, yeah. But that's a joke.
Yeah.
Because, what are 6 Magikarp going to do? Absolutely nothing.
Did the 6 Pikachu do anything?
No.
What level are they?
They're all level 32.
Okay.
6 male Pikachu.
Yeah.
All level 32.
I remember this because I just had Rhyperior out and it was just earthquake, 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 earthquake.
What a weird choice to make. 6 Pikachu.
Well, he's a Pokéfan.
I guess.
Pokéfans are like...
They're monotype.
Pokéfans generally favor and are obsessed with cute Pokemon. They often have, Jigglypuffs, Clefairies, Pikachus, obviously Marils, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I think that's kind of their thing, rather than monotype necessarily.
Not much else happening along these routes. It's just a grind.
Yeah.
You'll remember from Gens 1 and 2 that it's like the long route with all the grass, and then sort of a brief northerly route where the options are to go on the left side, which is like a dirt path, or the right side, which is like a paved path. But either side is just full of trainers.
Yeah, with the bikers versus the bird boys.
Right. And then, of course, the little maze, they've set up a little hedge maze here on Route 13.
That's still here, yep.
Which is still here. It's full of picnickers and bird boys. And, of course, Pokéfan Joshua.
Where he lives.
And then Route 12, finally. This is the longest haul we've had in quite a while.
This was actually the first time in this generation where I had to deploy elixirs.
Yeah. Because now we have the high power 5 PP moves and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. 4 out of 6 Pokemon have at least one 5 PP move at this point.
Yeah.
And no one really needs healing even. It's just I'm running out of PP and I don't. Yeah, I know. was waiting for that. But then, as I've mentioned, I don't have a flying Pokemon in my team.
Right.
So once I was in the middle around this corner, like going into the Route 12. I was like, oh shit, like I'm running out of moves, actually.
Route 12 is long and windy and full of fishermen. It's the docks. This is where Snorlax was previously. It's the route that connects Vermilion with Lavender with all points south. The other big notable landmark here is the fishing guru's house where you can finally get the super rod.
That's super rod.
Yeah. But then otherwise, it's mostly just bird boys and fishermen. And this is another route where it's like every battle, it felt like, at least every battle with the fishermen, they were like, hey, can I get your number?
God.
And it's like, ugh, you guys are fucking such creeps,
So I can fight your quillfish at level 40 instead of level 30?
Hear about like your fucking canoodling with your Goldines instead of seeing your family or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, not interested. It's also like, these are shitty routes for catching / fishing for Pokemon.
Right.
It's all tentacles.
And that's a big reason why I still think that just running the Elite Four endlessly is a better use of my time.
Right. I'm not interested in Tentacool, Magikarp, or Quillfish, which is all that's fucking here.
No.
Fishing used to mean something, you know? You could catch some cool Pokemon.
Be excited about. You could maybe get a Chinchou.
Or like a Poliwag.
Oh, yeah.
Something interesting.
Yeah, I don't like talking about Poliwag anymore.
Not anymore, Joshua. Now you get nothing. You get tentacles. But we're good. We made our way through Route 12. The option here is you can go north to Lavender Town, but we did that last week.
Oh, the only other thing, did you have this Ucene interaction?
Oh, yeah, Suicune.
Our buddy, the other Fur Affinity admin, Ucene.
He's just desperate to catch Suicune and give him a little kiss on the lips.
Kiss.
Yeah,
you see him bounding around, like out kind of on the docks. And, right? I think it was on the docks somewhere, like to the east. It
was further down, but yeah, it's in this area.
Maybe Route 14, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Suicune like bounds away again, like still being coy about getting that kiss. And Ucene this time is like, well, I think that where Suicune's going is a hilly place near the water, somewhere north.
I don't know what that means.
Which to me reads as Suicune wants a kiss from Misty, because that sounds like the Cerulean Cape makeout spot.
Oh, where Misty was kissing that boy.
I think
here's a theory.
That's where Suicune's settling down.
We never figured out who that boy was that Misty was kissing. We know Suicune loves a kiss because there's this guy chasing it, trying to get a kiss.
Right.
Maybe that boy was like some kind of Disney's Luca style, like,
oh my God, yeah.
Once Suicune touches land, he becomes a boy.
What a film.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it on Sunday.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Isn't it just The Little Mermaid?
I teared up a little.
Sort of seems like it's just The Little Mermaid.
Gay Little Mermaid, kind of.
Oh, okay.
It's coded gay, but...
And they're Italian?
Yeah. It's very good. It's the best Pixar movie I've seen in years, I think.
Okay, and he's gay.
I mean, they're too young to know what they are.
Okay.
But there's some Call Me By Your Name elements.
Timothée was too young. In
no Peach scene, but...
Yeah. I didn't know it was a gay anthem film. I'm going to go check it out now.
I think it's becoming that.
It looks good. I like the animation style.
It looks good. The concept is good.
It's Little Mermaid.
It's
great. The concept is Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
We make our way not north, but west.
Yeah.
Towards Vermilion.
Yeah, Route 11.
It's just a huge grass path.
I mean, it's just like dirt paths through a bunch of tall grass.
There's a few trainers here. They're all pretty boring. They all have, if I remember correctly, it's like psychic types. There's a couple psychics and a couple youngsters.
Oh, youngsters, yeah.
Executors.
Weird crew.
Crobats, Zatus, etc. Again, absolutely no talent in this grass.
No, again, the Pokemon are always still level fucking like, look at this, level 14 to the highest level, aside from the Snorlax, which doesn't count,
right,
is level 16. Well, what are we talking about here?
I guess it's kind of cute that this grass is full of Hypnos and Drowsies, and there's a sleeping Snorlax here.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Like, I guess that's cute. Like, that's probably intentional, right? But yeah, Josh already blew our wad, but the main attraction here is the Snorlax that's blocking your entry back into Vermilion City and blocking Diglett's cave.
Yeah.
So you battle him, Josh. Tough battle. He's level 50.
Yeah, he was actually tough. He was among one of the toughest Pokemon in this whole leg, actually.
Well, and he's also got leftovers. And believe me, as someone who's like desperate for leftovers, I was like, is there any way I can get that leftovers off of him?
Well, right. So we had the additional challenge of not killing it because we had to try to thieve it. I mean, I did.
I don't have Thief.
It's a TM. You get it in Mahogany Town in the Team
I don't
Rocket.
have any Pokemon that know Thief.
You didn't teach it to Honchkrow? Can it not learn
No,
it?
I didn't know. I didn't know Snorlax was gonna have leftovers.
I told you this in the episode that came out today, last week.
Guess what? I didn't play the game today, Joshua.
Wow. I gave you that hint on air. I regretted it, and then I guess it didn't
When I saw that leftovers,
I
I really considered. I was like, should I just catch this thing and then take the leftovers from it and then kill it?
Yeah.
But I didn't. I just defeated it. Is this the only way to get leftovers in this game?
I think that's it.
Level 50, he's got one of two moves, Immunity, which is a pretty great ability, or Thick Fat, which is a pretty great ability.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's making me miss my Snorlax from last gen.
Well, of course.
But Immunity, well, like you just can't be poisoned. And Thick Fat, what was Thick Fat? It's like...
I think it reduces fire and ice by 30%.
50%.
Okay, I thought it was 30. That's
if a Pokemon
insane.
with Thick Fat is attacked by ice or fire type moves, the opponent's attack or special attack is reduced by 50% during damage calculation.
I mean, it's just fire and ice, but
still,
that's still very
pretty
good.
good.
That's one of the better ones.
Man, Snorlax, what a beast.
That's where a skill swap on that one.
He also had this move. Well, first of all, he has Rollout, which if you're not careful with Rollout, that'll get you. And he's got 1,000,000 hit points because it's Snorlax, you know?
Yeah.
But he's got this move, Josh, called Giga Impact. And did I get... That was a close call for me.
Oh, yeah?
I had Feraligatr in. I think I was just doing training with Feraligatr, so he was like top of the party. And Snorlax dropped a Giga Impact on him, and Feraligatr was in the red. And I was like, dang, that was close. But I think Giga Impact has to charge.
Yeah.
So I managed to kill him before he could.
I was pretty fortunate here because he didn't drop the Giga Impact. He started doing a rollout, but I had my Alakazam up front. And so, Alakazam is this glass cannon. So it still did I think a third, maybe even almost half damage.
Yeah, just the first rollout.
But I had replaced Focus Blast with the Thief TM.
Yeah.
After this battle, before I ran the Elite Four again, I bought another Focus Blast and then I just taught it over the Thief because Thief, I don't care. I'm not going to use it again.
Yeah.
So first move was Thief, grab the leftovers. He does Rollout. And then I just swapped out Magmortar, and then Magmortar did Focus Blast, which it also has.
Yeah.
But again, the Rollout, super effective on him. So I was kind of letting it ride, but it was all right. I wanted that leftovers.
Yeah, I wish I had tried harder at it. I just saw it and I was like, or I saw him recovering with it and I was like, dang, I wish I had taught Thief to any of my Pokemon, but I didn't. I didn't want to Mayor cheat, Josh.
One other thing with that Snorlax.
What about it?
That was Joshy's sweetie.
Snorlax is looking good this gen.
Yeah, they did a wonder. I mean, the Overworld sprite was great. Never looked better.
Yeah, sleeping.
So jolly.
Just a big snoring beast.
I read some of its Pokédex entries when I was trying to find something new to say about it. And I guess they eat an average of 880 pounds of food a day.
Yeah.
Which seems very unsustainable.
Well, it's like Michael Phelps.
He eats 880 pounds of food.
I think so. Or something like that.
Close.
It's like a weirdo.
Close.
He's got a super body or something.
Yeah. And it also, Harkold's sprite reminds me of the really grotesque, my cats do this because they're sort of
big.
Yeah. Indulgent.
Yeah.
It's like the upsetting cat sitting version where they are kind of leaning back against a couch or whatever. And then they've got their two hind legs out and then it's just their whole stomach. And then
splayed out.
Their front paws are just laying on their stomach.
Yeah.
And that's what his sprite looks like. And I was like, that's kind of a POTUS look. So I like that.
I'll also say this about Snorlax is, once again, the fucking radio thing gave me trouble. I remember this from
putting on the Pokéflute
Silver
channel.
and Gold. Because, you open up the Poké Gear, and now you have the radio card that you got in Lavender Town. But it's only got 4 channels, and none of them is the Pokéflute channel. If you're paying attention, you can manually adjust the channel.
Yeah.
And move the little dot around the dial to find the Pokéflute channel, which is the
It's an AM station.
Topmost point on the dial.
Yeah.
But you really got to go looking for it. Because like they have these little buttons of just like preset stations. It's like Maria's radio show and then like a couple other shitty things. But it did give me a little trouble. It took me a little while to find the Pokéflute station.
I'm sorry.
Once he's gone, once he's dealt with, he runs off into the hills, I think.
Eat another 880 pounds of food.
And then Diglett's cave is once again accessible.
Yeah.
Diglett's cave is looking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got a lovely little splash screen with a little Dugtrio poking its dumb little head up.
It's cute.
In previous games, like it's just been like a straight shot, like underground route. But in this one, it's got like levels, it's got little bridges, it's like a full dungeon. It looks great.
Yeah, it adds some depth to it, even though we can't access any of those other parts until
funny.
we get rock climb, which is the fucking last thing after the 16th gym.
I guess we're going to come back and do it during the waterfalls episode. I don't even know what's up there.
God.
Probably nothing worthwhile.
I don't know either.
I'll tell you. Max Revive, Calcium, PP Max, Rock Incense, and Pasho Berry.
I could get some mileage out of a PP Max because I have all those 5 PP things, but
I guess Rock Incense if you have a rock Pokemon, but I don't.
Boost the power of the holder's rock type moves by 20%. Yeah, but my Rhyperior, if it wasn't already obvious, has a muscle band now from Mommy, and that boosts all of his moves as opposed to just one.
Right.
So
you pop out of Diglett Cave and you're on Route 2. There's not much going on here. If you forgot a cut Pokemon like I did, you have to make your way back through Diglett Cave.
Oh, which I did as well.
To Vermilion City and pull Krabby out of your box and then make your way back. And then there's several options here for cutting your way out of Route 2. I took the road less traveled and Josh took the road more traveled.
Yeah.
He went north and popped out right at Pewter City.
The expressway.
I went south and popped out on the south side of Viridian Forest. So I actually took a quick jaunt through Viridian Forest.
I'll do it next week, but I just assumed like, well, we're going to Viridian City, so I'll just go through Viridian Forest then.
I didn't think to go north. I didn't know that north was an option. So, or it's not even north because you start north. You just have to like walk a little bit to your left. And I didn't do that. I just dove south.
Right.
I found a guy who gave me a nugget. So you missed out on him.
No, I talked to him. Isn't he in that house?
Yeah, he's on the house right there on Route 2.
I feel like he tells you like a nugget. He recites you like a nugget poem.
He says a bunch of nugget stuff.
Gross.
He won't shut up about nuggets in a way that I was like, this guy's going to pull the rug out from under me. Like he's talking about nuggets too much. And now he's going to be like, and here's a, elixir.
Yeah.
So then I made my way to Viridian Forest. Same old Viridian Forest as always. Caught a Pikachu. Pretty excited about that. Pikachu's looking great this gen.
Yeah.
Now I'm the Poke fan, Joshua.
Right, you're gonna start turning into
starting my little army of Pikachus here. But I was pretty excited to catch a Pikachu. First one I encountered.
That's a really good one. Isn't it still rare?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. I would think not because it was the first one that I came across.
No, it's 6%, and at night it's only 5%.
That's pretty good. I think I was playing at night.
Wow.
So I'll take it.
Quite good.
So now I've finally caught up to you, Joshua, in Pewter City, the land of rocks.
Yep.
The only real notable thing here is Pewter Museum, which sucks.
Yeah.
You walk in and the ticket taker lady is like, oh, by the way, there's nothing here.
Yeah, we shipped our main exhibits over to, where? Johto?
I don't
Sinnoh?
even think she said. She's like, they're at other museums.
They're just pawning it all.
So there's no admission charge because there's nothing here to see. And you still walk in and there's like an old man there. He's like, I'm glad I've lived to be 1,000 because I've finally seen dragon bones. And it's like, ugh, man.
Yeah.
You're making me so sad. There's nothing here.
Yeah, I kind of want to ponder mortality if it's the sad ending that you have.
Yeah.
Old man.
And there is a guy here who will turn fossils into Pokemon. But I don't think have we encountered fossils in this game at all?
I think it works a little bit differently than in the past, like in Gen 2, actually, because you can just find them in the ruins of Alph or the Cliff
What do you
Cave,
mean? What do you
which
mean
is
you can
where-
just find? They're just like sitting around?
Yeah, basically. I read that if you smash the breakable rocks outside the ruins of Alph, they will randomly have Dome, Helix, or the old Amber in them.
Right. Okay.
And it's still the normal fossil Pokemon for this gen, so it's Kabuto, it's Ammonite, and it's Aerodactyl.
Okay.
And then I don't know what the deal is with the Cliff Cave. I read that on the walkthrough, is
It's a
that
cliff cave.
that's on the route to the new Safari Zone. out on Cianwood.
Oh, right.
And then the same goes for the Cliff Cave. Now that we've beaten the Elite Four, you can go back there, and it's apparently excavated now, and you can smash rocks for fossils there too. But it's the same fossils.
Yeah.
So we could fuck around with it a little in the Chasing Waterfalls episode.
But Boa calls me like once a day to be like, hey, some new exciting stuff happening at Safari Zone. It's like, I'm not interested.
Same.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I probably should have just gone and caught something in every zone, because like I haven't been back over there.
No.
Well, I did go back and I put some fountains and like puddles out and a statue of myself, obviously.
Okay.
Right after he called, like as soon as we, I think, defeated the Elite Four or something.
Yeah, he calls it. He's like, new feature. You can do this now. It's like, I don't want to do that.
I did that, and then I just never went back.
Yeah.
I'll definitely go back in the Chasing Waterfalls episode and like see what's happening, but
Okay.
It's irrelevant what I could catch at this point.
Pewter Gym, home of Brock, the quickest gym we've been to yet. Like we said earlier, 2 trainers. Both of them only have 1 Pokemon. I think a Rhydon and a Golem.
Yeah.
Very quick work with my overpowered Feraligatr.
This was easily the biggest joke of any gym in this gen.
Yeah. It's such a weird choice to not make the gym bigger or more complicated.
Yeah, it does look cool. It's just like a rocky arena. It actually invokes what Brock's gym looks like in the anime. It's like a throwback.
Okay.
Like big boulders everywhere. It is like a Colosseum shape, which is cool. But it's a joke. I mean, everyone in
And
it
Brock is a joke, and Brock's Pokemon are the jokes. He has a Graveler, a Rhyhorn, an Onix, an Omastar, and of course, my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week, Kabutops. Kabutops is too muscly.
It really is.
Too sexy. Look at his little 6-pack. They've given him a muscly man body.
And he sort of like quivers too.
And a little ding-dong down there. He's got like a little cod piece on.
A cup.
They've made Kabutops way too sexy in this game. Omanite still looks like shit. Or sorry, Omastar.
Yeah.
Just like no effort.
Yeah, as the generations go by, Kabutops really comes, even if it is too muscly, really comes out on top.
Yeah.
Tops.
Omastar just sucks to look at.
Omastar is so grotesque.
I am fairly sure I one-hitted every Pokemon in here.
Oh, I'm certain.
Yeah, I think
that I did.
I think I had Feraligatr in for the first 3, and then I don't remember what I put in for Kabutops and Omastar since they're dual rock and water.
I used Meganium or Abomasnow on all of this just to like divvy it up.
Oh, it must have been Executor.
All the grass moves are 4 times effective on all of them.
Yep.
So
Easy, quick work. And then Brock, of course, gives you the Boulder Badge and Rock Slide.
Rock Slide's great.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to teach it to anyone yet, but I like having it.
Let me tell you, Joshua, about the team I went into Brock with, or rather left Brock's gym with, in our hit segment, a level check.
Level check.
May I tell you about my team?
Yeah, I'd love to hear if you had any more deaths.
No deaths this week,
Congratulations.
but I did do a lot of leveling.
Scary.
Since we recorded with Tony.
Scary.
Everglade Fund, Feraligatr, level 65.
Okay.
3 Rivers, Sizor, level 63.
Okay.
Delta, Honchcrow, level 65.
And that's a plus 15.
Yeah.
Plus 15.
Yeah,
Well done.
That's where I channeled most of my efforts.
Wow.
Save a Fox, Ninetales, level 62. Gift of Parenthood, Executor, level 63. Blue Dragon, Dragonite, level 61. I'm not having very much fun with Dragonite. I don't think he's a very fun Pokemon.
Please, it is not level 69.
If there's anything that's not going to survive to the end of this game, it's going to be Dragonite.
Wow.
It's just sort of boring.
I mean, you could just copy Tony's strategy, I guess, but it does seem like the move pool is relatively limited at the moment, especially because so many TMs are hard to acquire right
And
now.
he doesn't have that much HP.
Standbys.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But he's sort of like the straggler in the group.
Yeah.
Tell me about Standard's team.
No big changes. I sunk a lot of time into this the preceding week, so this is like a cooldown period. No changes. It is Fred Van Vliet, who is Ampharos, level 63.
Mm-hmm.
Rosencrantz, Meganium, level 61.
Mm-hmm.
Tolkien, Alakazam, level 62. Wickrack Orum, Abomasnow, level 62. Actually, +4 there. Not bad.
That's not too bad.
Celadon, Magmortar, 62. And then Rocky the Rhyperior is now level 62, which is also a +4.
Pretty good. I'm digging that Rhyperior.
They're all feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Should we, Joshua, mash these bad boys together real quick?
I think so. We did flip a coin and it was tails, but
we thought it would be
we got
fun.
the time, and it's fun that our levels are kind of at parity. Like, we should try it.
I mean, me with my handicap maybe, but yeah.
I mean, you got 265s.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have a handicap. I have an advantage.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more interesting.
We are going to go battle now, bug catchers on Pokemon Showdown, and we'll be back to tell you who the victor of the first battle is, and then we'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll do another battle. Maybe we'll do best 2 out of 3.
All right, we'll see.
No, we're just going to do one and done.
Just let it ride.
We're just going to let it ride. We're going to go battle once. We're going to come back and tell you who the victor is, and then we will see you off. But until then, see you in a moment.
Final round fight.
Joshua, your Ampharos is a problem.
Yeah, my Ampharos has become a big problem for...
That's going to be a problem for me. Your Ampharos took out 3 of my Pokemon in, I think, 1 hit.
I'm surprised, but yes, it was.
Signal Beam took out Executor in 1 hit.
Yeah.
Power Gem took out...
Ninetales in 1 hit.
Ninetales in 1 hit.
Power Gem is fucking awesome, which Alex Bug put on the map. Level 59 for Ampharos. Special attack rock move.
And then you had some other shit.
Well, you brought in Feraligatr because it has Earthquake, and then I got a discharge off on it.
Yeah.
I did kill Feraligatr with the
disgusting
discharge
all over me. Gross.
And then you brought in Scizor. And then, oh yeah, and then you got paralyzed on the static.
Yeah.
Which ended up biting you in the ass later.
Because he was too slow to ever get the first hit off. So your Ampharos is unstoppable.
Yeah.
But still, I got you down to 2 Pokemon.
You took out Rocky nearly, the Rhyperior, with Honchkro's nasty plotted Night Slash. Took it down to 2% in 1 hit.
Right.
And although I did manage to kill...
You killed Honchkrow.
You then brought in Scizor again, and then I brought out Abomasnow, like, dumbly.
I killed Abomasnow in 1 hit.
Yeah, Scizor, of course.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right, dumb.
It was Scizor versus Alakazam at the end, but Scizor only had, like, 10 HP. And I would have 1-hitted you had it not been for the paralysis.
Yeah.
Who's your final unrevealed Pokemon?
Meganium.
Oh, I would have 1-hitted both of those with Scizor. If I wasn't paralyzed, I would have won.
I think so. The Ampharos ultimately took you down because of its paralysis there.
Good battle.
I did have the Quick Claw on there, and that was the main problem.
Oh, the Quick Claw was pretty brutal, too.
Because it went 3 times in a row
right.
first with Quick Claw.
Yeah, that's brutal. Good battle. Weirdly close, despite the fact that Ampharos 1-hit KO'd 3 of my Pokemon in a row.
Yeah, it's kind of became my my stunner. It is my highest level Pokemon right now as well.
I'm worried about him now. I'm going to have to come up with some kind of foil for your Ampharos, I think, before next week.
It was a late game rally, which I love, of like, I had basically only electric moves on that thing until it was level like, whenever it learned Signal Beam.
Right.
And then it was like, oh.
Is electric super effective against steel?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not very effective.
Seems like it should be, but maybe I should have had Scizor in.
No, because it's like Lightning Rod is an ability because steel like absorbs electricity.
I guess. Okay.
Rhyperior has Lightning Rod.
I don't know. I'm not a fucking electrician.
Yeah.
Good match.
Good match. It was close.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I'm glad we did it.
Me too. Congratulations.
And it makes me excited for these last couple of weeks.
I got a plan for this Ampharos now. I got to figure this out.
All right. I'm probably going to stick with what I got unless somebody dies, which seems virtually impossible.
Dragonite's doing me no favors, and Dragonite's absolutely shit against Ampharos because it's flying.
The Dragonite didn't really do anything, did it?
Dragonite, I think, I
can't even remember it being
dropped super quickly. Oh, it got confused.
Oh,
you
got Aqua Tail out.
I killed your
once.
Magmortar with it, but then you confused it on the way down, and then he hurt himself in confusion, and then of course you psychicked it. Oh, and he was burned.
Yeah, you got burned because you swapped it when I already had Magmortar out using a flamethrower.
Right.
But then you happened to get burned and then confused.
So yeah, good matchup. Joshua, Thank you for joining me this week. Bug catchers, thank you for joining both of us. This has been Experience Share, a Pokemon podcast. I have been Tamba Palm, a.k.a. Tanner Greenring, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Sunflorosh, a.k.a. Joshua Fielstead. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and follow it everywhere that you follow podcasts, and buy our merch.
Yeah.
expsharemerch.com. Lots of good shirts up, lots of good fun stuff.
We were briefly in the top shows for video games on Apple Podcasts, and we're out again. So give us those ratings or reviews and get us back.
Please
in
do
there.
go bump us. Yep.
And then give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at expsharepod.
Yes.
You can check out the subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers.
Yes.
And as Tanner said, buy the merch.
Buy the dang merch.
expsharemerch.com.
We'll be back next week to take on the final two gyms in the Kanto region of Soul Silver and Heart Gold.
Wow.
And then we will be off to battle the Elite Four and chase waterfalls. We may or may not have a guest for that final episode. We're going to text him tonight and see if he wants to come on. Joshua, thank you. Goodbye.
Smell you later.